Hi there. Today, I want to tell you a story about two things that are not just words but ways of living: humility and service. These are timeless principles found throughout the Bible, and they have the power to change how we see ourselves, others, and even our purpose in life. Let me take you on a journey through some key moments in Scripture where humility and service take center stage. You don't need to be a theologian to get this, it's for all of us. Let's start with King Solomon, one of the wisest people to ever live. When he finished building the magnificent temple in Jerusalem, he could have boasted about his achievement. After all, it was one of the wonders of the ancient world. But do you know what he did? Solomon knelt down, lifted his hands to the sky, and prayed. In 2 Chronicles 6, Solomon says, "Will God really dwell on earth with humans? The heavens, even the highest heavens, cannot contain you." What humility! Instead of focusing on his own greatness, Solomon acknowledged that everything, even his incredible temple, was only possible because of God. His prayer was a reminder that humility begins when we recognize who God is and who we are in comparison. Now, let's fast forward to a moment that redefined what leadership and greatness really mean. This one happens in John 13, during Jesus' final meal with his disciples. The setting is intimate. Imagine a quiet room, the smell of bread and wine, the murmurs of close friends. Suddenly, Jesus stands up, takes a towel, and kneels to wash his disciples' feet. Back then, washing feet was a job for the lowest servant. Roads were dusty, and sandals didn't offer much protection. Yet here was Jesus, their teacher, their leader, God in human form, performing this act of service. When he finished, Jesus explained, "I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you." No servant is greater than his master. In just a few minutes, Jesus turned the world's idea of power upside down. Real greatness isn't about being served, it's about serving others, no matter how lowly the task may seem. So, what does this look like today? You don't need to be a king like Solomon or have the influence of Jesus to practice humility and service. It can be as simple as listening to someone who needs to talk, sharing what you have, or helping without expecting anything in return. In Philippians 2, Paul writes, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves." It's a call to live differently, to put others first, even when it's inconvenient or unnoticed. Let me tell you about someone whose life was a shining example of this. Her name was Dorcas, or Tabitha, and you can find her story in Acts 9. Dorcas was known for doing good and helping the poor. She made clothes for widows, who were some of the most vulnerable people in her community. When she passed away, the widows showed Peter the garments she had made, weeping over the loss of someone who had served them so selflessly. But the story doesn't end there. Peter prayed, and God brought her back to life. Dorcas' humility and service didn't just change lives, they left a legacy. The Bible isn't just a collection of ancient stories, it's a guide for how we can live today. Humility reminds us that we're not the center of the universe. Service shows us how to love others in a way that reflects God's love for us. Imagine what the world could look like if we all embraced these principles, a world where kindness, compassion, and selflessness were the norm. It starts with small, everyday choices. So, who can you serve today? And how can you approach life with a little more humility? Let's take this journey together. Closing message: humility and service are not just acts, they're a way of life.